What's going on, you guys? This is Dimension Scott back at you once again with a brand new ranking video, and today this is my official ranking of the Scream franchise from 1 to 7, from least to the best. And I'm recording this video like early in the morning because I have the only free time I have right now. So let's talk about this. Before getting to today's video, if you're new to this channel and you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos if you like what you see. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram with the same name as usual, Dimension Scott. Okay, now with the release of Scream 7, now that I've seen all 7 up to this point, with Scream 7 getting so divisive, mixed opinions, and blah, 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 blah. It's all over the place. So I'm here to give you guys my official ranking of the Scream franchise from least to the best. And there's not a single Scream movie that I personally really dislike like everybody else does. So without no further ado, shall we begin? Last place for me personally is Scream 2. And I know for all of you who think this is the best movie, best sequel around in the Scream franchise, but hear me out. I think this movie is kind of boring. I think this movie is the most least events that I personally enjoy for myself. Scream 2 is kind of boring. I don't personally like the movie like a lot of people do, but it's still okay to watch. Like I said, there's not a single Scream movie I personally dislike, but this movie for myself, it does have kills. It does have that great theater opening, and it had the balls to kill off Randy, one of the most fan favorite characters in this franchise, telling you that nobody is safe. So that's all I gotta say. And I don't think the motivation in this movie is just as magical like its predecessor. So moving on. Number 6 is Scream 3. I don't understand. This movie does not deserve the hate that it gets. Scream 3 has some really underrated. It's a more preferred story in my opinion than Scream 2. I love the reason why the killer is doing what he's doing. And I love the face-off between Sidney and the killer. And I'm not going to get into really spoilers because I know not everybody has seen Scream 7, so that's really the reason why I'm not trying to spoil nothing. Or if, for those of you who probably have never seen a Scream film before, please check it out. If you're into horror, you love slashers. But Scream 3 for me is a kind of an underrated story in the Scream franchise. So, and I freaking love that videotape that Randy had recorded before his, death in the second Scream movie. So I think Scream 3 has some underrated moments, and I think, in my opinion, Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott has the best relationship in this movie, and I think it wrapped up the original 3 films nicely. Number 5 is Scream 6. Now, I enjoyed the idea of taking them to New York City, and that was actually pretty fun. Yeah, and the kills in this movie are brutal too. And I like how Ghostface uses a shotgun. So this is definitely, to me, a lot more of a brutal Ghostface. And I liked how these movies now are making Ghostface a lot more brutal than ever. But I enjoyed the idea of going to New York. Some people think this is probably the best one, but I think I still seen better. They did this movie without Neve Campbell for payment reasons, but still, the idea of taking the sisters to New York was a fun idea. And I was still along with the ride with the sisters, and unfortunately, there's still a lot of cliffhangers in this movie because after this movie came out sometime, the Melissa Barrera was fired, Jenna Ortega left alongside too, so we'll probably never know what they had planned to do, because this was, to me, supposed to be Jenna and Melissa's trilogy passing the torch. So that's why this is at number 5. Number 4 is now the brand new divisive Scream 7. You see, I don't have a physical copy because this movie's not out yet physically, but this movie's getting a lot of mixed opinions. But hear me out. I love the relationship between, the return of Neve Campbell as Sidney, and I enjoyed her relationship with the daughter. And I cannot understand, why are people hating on the actress who played Sidney's daughter? She did a fabulous job. I don't understand that crap at all. I think whoever says that her performance in the movie sucks is just by far the most meanest thing ever to say. I don't judge anybody's performances just by listening to them speak it out. And I think that this Ghostface has some brutal kills. I know, and I was actually kind of amazed the way they use Stu in this movie. And I thought he looked kind of creepy, and I didn't personally mind the killing reveals in this movie. I actually kind of like one side they did with the killer reveal. So I won't get into spoilers. So for me, Scream 7 is probably what you would say is what Scream 5 would should have been originally. So with Sydney, her daughter, brutal Ghostface, all that to me is, was a worth entertaining, fun continuation, despite all the controversy about the firing of the sisters and going back to Sydney. I still enjoyed the movie for what it was. Number 3 is going to be Scream 4. Now, for years, for a very long time, I think Scream 4 was to me my second favorite before we got something else that I'll get into later. But Scream 4 with Emma Roberts, her performances alone in this movie, you know, with Sydney, Gail, and Dewey, and some fun kills and some fun humor. That alone, especially Emma Roberts as Jill alone, is why I adore this Scream sequel so much. And it was definitely the last Scream movie directed by Wes Craven before he passed away. That's all I really got to say. But the main reason why I enjoyed this one so much at number 3, or as one of my favorites, is because of one thing. That was my introduction to Emma Roberts as Jill. Number 2 is Scream 5 from 2022. This to me personally was my Force Awakens. It was the at the time return of the Scream franchise in a long time, and this was also the passing torch from Sydney to Gail and Dewey, which they had the balls to kill off, but people argue that that was done terribly, but still they had the balls to do it, just like they had the balls to kill off Randy. So I don't understand why is this so nonsense that they finally have the balls to kill off a character that people argue that, oh, they don't, well, nobody has the balls to kill off nobody, but every time they do kill off someone, y'all act like that was terrible and stuff. Like, where's y'all mindset thinking? But anyway, Scream 5 was a great welcome experience to the Scream franchise in years, and I think they did a nice job in making this movie dedicated to Wes Craven because he passed away. And I think the opening is great. It was brutal. It was something like never before, and this was also a story passing the torch. And I really enjoyed the direction that they were going with these new characters, especially our two sisters. And I would love to see them come back again someday, as long as there's no controversy. But Scream 5 was a great experience in a very long time. But of course, number 1 is the original Scream. Favorite horror movie of all time. The opening, the kills, the motivation, the killer reveals, my introduction to Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, and Gail Weathers, Dewey, bunch of other things. And it has some of my favorite moments, like Sidney punching Gail for writing a book about her mother and the murders. And I love how they reference Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and rules about surviving horror. So that is great to be the best horror movie of all time. That's all I gotta say. Scream is amazing. So there we have it. What did you guys think of my personal ranking of the Scream franchise? Let me know your rankings down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys later. What's your favorite scary movie? Peace.